We will wait for a few minutes for others to join and let me finish the attendance part for the second session or second class. Yes, this can scan the QR code or I will share the QR code also. Yes, I just shared the attendance so you can scan that QR code. Okay, so I think most of you are joined. So we will start our discussion. Yeah, so we are discussing about general purpose procedures. So let us learn. Let us discuss how to add a general purpose procedure in our visual programming, or in order to add, what are the steps we have to follow. Okay, what are the steps we have to follow to add a general purpose procedure? Fine, the step number one. So that is the code window is. So first of all, you have to open a code window. Okay, from the module to which the procedure is to be added. So now, uh, for what we can say for which form or which window the procedure you want to add. First of all, add the open that window, or we can say open that module for which we want to add a procedure. Now, suppose in this case, suppose I want to add a module to a procedure to particular module. ठीक है, अगर इस मॉड्यूल में हम लोग को ऐड करना है तो सबसे पहले उस मॉड्यूल को ओपन करना है. ठीक है, तो now I can open the module. Then I can add procedure option is chosen. Now I can use the add procedure option from the tool menu. ठीक है, कैसे ऐड करना है आपको? ऐड प्रोसीजर ऑप्शन चूज करना है. कहाँ से? टूल मेन्यू से, which opens an add procedure dialog box. Now it will open the dialog box here like this as shown in figure. Now in this figure as shown. So whenever, first of all, you choose the module, in which module you want to add the procedure. Then how to add the procedure? There will be option of add procedure icon or add procedure option in your toolbar. Okay. So which opens an add procedure dialog box. Now it will open this dialog box like this to add the procedure. Then then you have to specify the here. Now in this case you have to specify the name of the procedure by naming that name here. Okay, name should be given if it is if it is the event procedure. Now I have to give the procedure name, then underscore, then the name of the event will be given. Okay. So what happens basically in the name text box we will display or type the name of the procedure. Fine. Then there is another different types of properties also there. That is under type. So which type of procedure basically you are using, whether it is a sub procedure or whether it is event procedure, whether it is a priority procedure or whether it is function procedure. Oh, sorry, property procedure or function procedure. Now you can choose the type of procedure here. Fine. So once you use the name of the procedure, okay, आपको type choose करना है. सब procedure, event procedure, function procedure, function, property procedure तो property procedure को add करना है. ठीक है. Now, what I told you, this type has a sub is created, sub is selected to create a sub procedure, function is created for a function procedure, and property is created for the property procedure, and event is created for the event procedure. Then there is a scope. You can now see there is a column called scope. Now you can choose the scope and access specifier, whether public or static. Okay, public is selected to create a procedure that can be called outside the module. That means the functions can be accessed outside the module if it is selected as a public scope. Okay, and of private can be created for a procedure that can be called or used only within the module. Now suppose if you want to use this procedure within the module, then I will go for the private. Fine. So these are the general steps that you have to follow. Okay, that you have to follow to add any procedure to the Visual Programming. Okay, so first of all, you have to choose the module on which module we want to add a procedure. Then in that module, okay, when in that module, there will be option for add procedure on its toolbar. Toolbar में option रहता है add procedure. So जब भी आप वो option click करोगे, now it will open a dialog box like that. So dialog box have a different field. Like the first one is name. Now you can place the name. Then we can choose the type of the procedure that we can use, whether it is a sub procedure, function procedure, event procedure, or property procedure. Then we can specify the access specifier or scope of the procedure, whether public or private. So once it is done, now we can perform the event, which is okay. So as soon as the okay button event is performed, your procedure will be created. Okay. So then you have to point to remember in this case while creating a new procedure. So we can also create a new procedure in current module by typing as a procedure name, function procedure name, or property procedure name in a code window. Okay, now what we have discussed in earlier slide, that was the one method of creating a procedure. The second method क्या है? Now आप directly आप जो है Windows कमांड विंडोज में डायरेक्टली आप प्रोसीजर को क्रिएट कर सकते हो. कैसे क्रिएट कर सकते हैं? बाय टाइपिंग द सब कीवर्ड देन द प्रोसीजर नेम या फिर आपका फंक्शन प्रोसीजर नेम और फिर प्रॉपर्टी प्रोसीजर नेम in a code window, and we can write the statement and end with the end sub procedure. Okay, now what that thing we remember, in the function procedure returns a value and the sub procedure does not return a value. So in case of if you define the procedure as a function procedure, then it will return a value, but if you define a sub procedure, it will not return any value. This is the basic difference between function procedure and sub procedure. Okay, so now let us understand what you mean by third type of procedure, which is called your function procedure. Or I can say the fourth type of procedure. First is your sub procedure, second is your event procedure, third is your general procedures, and you can say the fourth type of procedure is function procedure. Okay, functions are like sub procedure. Now it is very similar to the sub procedures. Okay, function procedures are very similar to the sub procedure accept the return value of the calling procedure. So as we are already said, the return value of the function procedure will be return some value. It will return some value. But in case of sub procedure, it will not return any value. Okay, so both are very similar to each other, but they are only differ in terms of that what value they are returning. They are especially these functions procedure especially useful for taking one or more piece of data as an argument and perform some tasks in them. Okay, and again it will similar. So what will take? It will take an input. Okay, it will take an input as an argument. Okay, as a list of argument. So on which it will perform certain tasks and return the values. Then function procedure returns a value that indicate the result of the task completed within the function, and the value which is returned by the function procedure. The value which is returned by the function procedure, what it indicates? It indicates the output of that function procedure. Okay. Now the questions can be come here. What is the difference between sub procedure, and function procedure here? Right. You have to remember that both are very alike or very similar to each other, but only difference is in terms of their return value. The function procedure always return a numeric, or we can say return certain values. It can return some values, but in case of uh, sub procedure, it will not going to return any values. Right? Or they may ask what are the different, what do you mean by uh, procedures, and what are the different procedures that are supported by visual programming. Then you have to discuss all each and every procedure starting from sub procedure, then explain the syntax of that one, then with the help of an example. Then what do you mean by event procedure, why event procedure are very important, and how it is defined. By default it will always private. Then what do you mean by general procedure, and what are the two methods? We learn the two methods to create a general procedure. One is a graphical method where we can directly add with the help of tool menu bar. Second one, we can write the code in in Windows command window or code window में डायरेक्ट लिख सकते हैं. Find that function procedure. The function procedure is very similar to the sub procedure, but what is the difference? Difference is in terms of their return values. Okay, the function procedure always returns something, but the sub procedure will not return anything. Okay, so let us understand with the help of an example. So there is an example for a sub procedure to calculate the third side, or we can say hypotenuse of the right angle triangle of a where AB other two other side. Okay, now suppose this is my right angle triangle. Now suppose this is my A and B. Now what we need, so I need to calculate the third side or this value. Fine. So what will do? It will take input as in two argument. So this function will take input as a two argument. Now A and B will be an argument, and we can specify the data type also. The data type is double, and finally it will return the result of in terms of C. Okay. Now how we will write? Now function is a keyword here. Now we not write the sub. Okay. Remember that we will use the function as a keyword. Then this is the name of the function. Then there's a list of argument. Now this is the first argument. This is my first argument. Fine. Which is written as A. Sorry, written as A as double. Now this is my second argument. Okay. Now name of the argument is B, and it is written as it is type of B is double. Okay. Now as double represent the return type of this function is also a double type. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर as double लिखे हम लोग लिखते हैं. Now it specifies that the return type of this function is what? A double type. Fine, but you can see in case of while writing the sub procedure, we are not writing this step because the sub procedure will not going to return anything. That is the reason we are not writing. But in this case, we have to write this statement as double. So specify that it will be specify that the function is going to return something, and what are the return type? The return type will be double. Fine. Now the statement part means what the function is going to perform. So as we know that this function is going to perform or calculate the third side of the triangle. Now this is the formula for the calculation third side of triangles. Okay. So once it's calculated, now you have to end with the end function command. Okay. Now function हमेशा end function command से end होगा. अगर end function नहीं लिखेंगे, then it will show an error message. Fine. So what the final output will return the value of hypotenuse. Okay. Now it will return the value of hypotenuse, which will be your third side of the. Fine. This is an example of how to use function procedure. Function procedure. Okay. Now, point to be noted here is the above function procedure is written in a general declaration section of the code window. So, how we are declared now this function? Now, this function is not declared with the help of your toolbar. ठीक है, दो मेथड है ना, टूल बार से नहीं डिक्लेयर किए, ये कैसे डिक्लेयर किए? नाउ दिस फंक्शन मेथड इज डिक्लेयर्ड इन ए कॉमन वे और जनरल declaration method in a code window. We are return the code in a code window, and the function can be written by selecting the add procedure dialog box. As the same function also can be written as, I can write the same function as add procedure dialog box from the tool menu and choosing the required scope and the clear. Is it clear? तो याद रखना है, दो वे में हम लोग फंक्शन को डिफाइन कर सकते हैं. आइदर आप ऐड प्रोसीजर जाके टूल मेन्यू में, ठीक है, ऐड प्रोसीजर डायलॉग बॉक्स फ्रॉम द टूल मेन्यू, ठीक है, और वी कैन डायरेक्टली राइट द कोड इन योर कमांड विंडो और कोड विंडो में लिख सकते हैं. दिस इज एन एग्जांपल ऑफ कोड विंडो, राइटिंग द फंक्शन इन कोड विंडो. फाइन. सो hopefully it is clear to all of you. Any doubt? I think this question is asked in previous exam. Okay, previous batch student, this question is asked. What do you mean by procedure, and what are the different types of procedure that is supported by Visual Program? Right. So if the question comes, now you have to explain. Try to explain each whenever such type of question comes. Try to explain with the help of example. Right? We are discussing, with the example. When you write the example, it will be clearly understand by the examiner that you know the concept. Fine. Okay, so let's move. Let's move on. So let us discuss some of the properties of the last type of function, which is called property procedure. Okay, last type of function which is called properties procedure. Now, general procedures may all procedures will come. Your sub procedure, event procedure, then your function procedure and property procedure. Okay, so last type of procedure we are going to discuss, which is called property procedure. So a property procedure is used to create and manipulate a custom property. So as we know, whatever variables or whatever form we are created, certain forms are having some property. Yes or no? So as we are already discussed, लेकिन हम लोग फाइनली पढ़े थे, जो कोई भी आप लोग फॉर्म डिजाइन कर रहे हैं या फिर कोई फंक्शन बना रहे हैं या फिर वेरिएबल डिक्लेयर कर रहे हैं, तो हम लोग का प्रॉपर्टी विंडो में we are having a property window where it is store the property of that thing. Okay. Now this property procedure is used to create and manipulate. So now to create all the simple to make some changes. Now this will be helpful for customizing the property. And it is also used to read only properties for form, standard modules and class modules. Now, this is not limited to only one module. So this property can be created for all the modules that we have discussed. That is in case of form modules, in case of standard modules, and in case of class modules. Okay. Now Visual Basics basically provide three kinds of procedure, properties procedure. Okay. There are three types of property procedure that are possible. One is called your property led procedure that set the value of the property. Okay. First property procedure क्या है? There are three different types of property procedure that are provided by Visual Basics. The first one is called property led procedure. So what basically it do? It will set the value of the property. Okay, it will set the value of the property. Second one is property get procedure. So what we will do? The main job of property get procedure is that it will return the value of the property. It will return the values to the property. And third one is your set or property set procedure. Okay, that will set the reference of the object. It will set the reference to the object. Whatever the coding part to class, whatever you design, now it will set the reference to the particular object. Now these are the three different types of property procedure that are supported by the visual programming. Fine. So before discussing the array, okay, now with this we have completed the different type of procedure. So before discussing the array part, okay, let me discuss an example, a simple example, how the visual programming looks like. In command window, how we can define a visual programming. Okay. Okay. Fine. So, so remember now anything in a visual programming, now this is my window. So whenever you write a visual programming window, now as we are already discussed the basic thing, now we declare what we mean by variable, constant, what are different types of operators we are having. Okay, then we have discussed what are the conditional statement we are having, what are the loops we are having, then what are the procedures we are having. Okay, now how this all together they combine to form or they can use to write a visual program. ठीक है, तो आपको यहाँ देखना है anything written in single quote like this. Now this code single quote we are using ना, single quote figure 3.1 visual welcome to vb.1. Okay, so anything written in this single quote, okay, this single quote character indicate that it will be remind of the line is a comment. Now this will be treated as a comment line. Okay, so writing a comment line in visual programming, we will always use single quote. ठीक है, like double quote हम लोग यूज करते थे या percentile यूज करते थे in case of C and C++, but in this case यहाँ पर क्या यूज करेंगे हम लोग, याद रखना single quote. Similarly, this line number 2 is also a comment line. Why it is a comment line? Because again we are using a single quote here. Okay, now what message we are giving? Suppose we want to give the message simple visual programming. Okay, now step number 4. Every visual programming should be start with a module. Now you have to specify for which module this program is meant for. Okay, for which module the program is meant for. और इसलिए हम लोग यहाँ यूज करेंगे मॉड्यूल कीवर्ड से स्टार्टिंग करेंगे मॉड्यूल कीवर्ड. Okay, then name of the module. This is the name of the module. Now this program is meant for this particular module or in which module you are currently working. ठीक है, इसलिए हमेशा we will use with the module statement. ठीक है. Now this is a Visual Basic console application consists of piece that called module. Fine. Now this module can be of different types again. We have already discussed 3 different types. Either it can be a form module, or it can be a standard module, or it can be a class module. Yeah, it can be a class module हो सकता है आपका, या फिर ये standard module हो सकता है, standard module हो सकता है, या फिर ये आपका form module होगा. ठीक है, हम लोग ऑलरेडी डिफरेंशिएट पढ़ चुके हैं. फॉर्म मॉड्यूल मतलब एक सिंगल प्रोसीजर के लिए, स्टैंडर्ड मॉड्यूल मतलब अगर दो एक से ज्यादा मॉड्यूल कंबाइन होते हैं देन उसको कंबाइन करके स्टैंडर्ड मॉड्यूल बोलते हैं. एंड देयर इज वन मोर कॉल्ड क्लास मॉड्यूल. फाइन, क्लियर. सो एवरी programming should be start with the module keyword, the name of the module in which you're currently working. This is nothing but a console application which consists of a module. Then we will start with the main function. This is a main function. Now again, whenever you start with the main function, now we will start with the sub, because main is also is a procedure. Main भी आपका एक procedure है. ठीक है, main भी आपका एक procedure है, इसलिए हम लोग जो main function जो start करेंगे हमेशा वो sub से start होगा. Now sub main. Okay, so the main is a procedure in the entry point of the program. It present in all the console application. That means in any console application, the main will always present. Okay, and it will always start from sub. Fine. Now there is a statement part. Now this is my statement part. So what is the statement? Now console dot write line. Okay, console dot write line is a statement display text output to the console. So whenever you want to display something, so it will be something work like a printf statement. Okay, how it is work? It will be something work like a printf statement. So what will do? Console dot write line. Console dot write line will be print the statement. What will print? It will print visual welcome to Visual Basic. Double quote में जो भी लिखोगे that will be going to display. Okay, now remember this word. Console dot write is a statement to display the text output of the console. Okay, so once the statement part, now this is the action part. Now once the action part is completed, now every sub procedure should be ended with the end sub. ठीक है, इसलिए आप हम लोग and sub. Now this is a comment again. The comment you are giving that what? This is the end of my main program. Then every module again should be ended with end module. Now what does it indicate? This is ending of my module. Fine. So how are we going to write the program while using visual programming? So here we are not using any variables. We are not using any operators. We are only using one function, which is called a main function, which is of which type of procedure? Or we can say we are only use one procedure, which is your main type main, and it is a sub procedure. Fine. So again, we have used a statement. In case of statement, we are use a console write line statement. So console write line is a function, or you can say is a built-in function, okay, or built-in procedure that display the text output of the console. So whatever it is double quote, that will going to display. Fine. Any doubt? Any doubt how we are going to write the program? Now we will look more and more programs how to write the programs. Okay. Then once we familiar with program, then we will going to learn how to use the control statement. Okay. अब उसके बाद हम देखेंगे कि control statement को कैसे इनबिल्ट कर सकते हैं. Fine. So any doubt regarding this? You can go ahead. Any doubt you can have. Now everything should be written in module. Remember, if module is not specified, so the particular thing will be not going to understand. User will not understand for this particular main function we designed for which module. So इसलिए हमेशा सबसे पहले module से start होता है. Module, the name of the module on which we are working, then end module. And there are some tips. Here we given some of the few good programming tips. That means always write the comment part. Okay, always write the comment so that it can be easily understandable for the readers. Then always begin with the module, or divide the program into modules. So begin each module with the module name, so it is easier to identify. Then write the process in a procedure manner, so the entire body of each procedure definition by level identification. So these are some steps that will be followed for good programming projects. Okay. So now let's take one more example. Yeah, the same example we have discussed in the previous one. So the same thing again we are using with the module. Now this module is called mod second welcome. Now this module is ended here, end module. Now we are having the sub main and end main. Now you can see here a slight difference is there. Now we are used two different types of built-in procedure here for displaying the text output. One is called console.write and second one is called console.writeLine. Okay, now you can see the difference here. One is your console.write. Okay, what is first one? First one is console.write. And what is second one? Second one is your console.write. Console.write line. Fine. So what is the major difference between two things? If you use console.write line, so what it will do? So it will place the pointer or cursor at the beginning of next line. Fine. Or whenever you use only use console.write, so it will not place the cursor at the beginning of next line. So suppose if you want to print, now in this case, if you run this procedure or run this program, what is the output? The output will be, now it will print this statement, because this is a built-in function to print a statement. So it will print welcome to. Okay. So as we are used only console.write, the cursor will not going to place in the second line. So again, it will print Visual Basic. Okay. Now same thing if you return like this, अगर हम लोग ऐसे लिखते हैं console dot write line, then we write the same thing, welcome to this one. Then again I write suppose console dot write line. Okay. Now something in double quote. So what will happen here? The output will be something like welcome to Visual Basic. Fine. Now what happens? The line is break. Now next time when we execute this statement, it will going to place a new line. Okay. So these are some basic programming what we have done. Okay. So this is basic programming. So some basic thing you have to remember. Always do use the comment statement. Then second thing is always start from the module, and everything written in procedure. Okay. Everything write in a different procedure. Fine. Clear? Any doubt? So this is another program. So we will discuss this one. Okay. We're going to discuss this one, but it will because start I will not be able to complete this one. That's why I'm not starting today. Yeah, because we have less than 5 minutes or so. So just me give the brief introduction what the program is. Now this is a program, okay, for Visual Basic program written in command window or code window, where we will be going to perform addition of two numbers. Okay, they are performing addition of two numbers. So here we are use the different variables here. Okay, different variables of different types as a string types and as a numeric type. Then we have used certain operators to perform the arithmetic operations. Then we are using the uh, different types of built-in procedures like console write for the displaying the output, and console read line to taking the it will take an input from the user. Okay, we will discuss that one and how it is going to perform. Fine, so we will discuss this thing in the next class. Okay, most probably. So if you have any doubt, I can take your doubts. So any doubt? So sometimes they are asked, okay, in your program, what I gone through the previous paper, they are give at least one programming to write. Okay, एक छोटा सा program देते हैं हमेशा, write a Visual Basic program for like performing the finding the factorial of a number, on for finding the even odd number. Okay, the programming will be not so tough, but you have to write the programming in the form of Visual Basics. Fine, that is the reason we have to learn the structure of this. So no doubt, even though it supports the what we can say, the different number of controls are can be used to develop your Windows applications. Okay, so basically we can say the Windows application can be done or developed into either by directly writing the code in your code window, or we can use the control statement with the help of forms. Okay, forms रहते हैं, forms में directly we can embed the controls statements or control attributes that is available to design a Windows console programs. Fine. Okay, so any doubt? If you have any doubt, I'll take the questions. Otherwise, we will stop our class here. Any doubt you are having? Okay, I think there is no doubt, so we'll stop here. Thank you for your participating for the class. So do give the attendance, okay, which we have shared in the your WhatsApp group. So scan the QR code for the attendance. Okay, fine. Thank you very much.